Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile, Escape from the Pit. Last time we became arena combat champions in the town of Spire, and a shady, scabby guy told us to find someone named Asp if we were interested in stealing a very old and potentially powerful artifact from the mayor. Now, Asp, we have found before hanging out in the dark corner of the inn in Kotra. That's him. He says he's just passing through, but of course he's still here from whenever we were last here. It's how these games work. But if we ask him about the circlet... Someone I met, while working, told me that the mayor of one of the rebel cities owns it. She trapped it. It blasts anyone who tries to get it without saying "Ankh." You take note of this. That seems like potentially important information. Now, of course, there is not much left for us to do in this region of Exile, but we do have a few more people that I want to talk to elsewhere. So, I'll see you guys after the cut. Actually, while I'm traveling through here, I can do a little bit of sequence breaking. It's not even strictly sequence breaking, it just doesn't fit the narrative flow as well. So, there was this area over here that I think I did explore, and had some sort of demon shade that wanted us to come back when we had the power to defeat Greyhoth. Well, we do have a pretty badass sword. You have managed to make your way to the top of a subterranean fumarole. It is capped with a large pool of eminently deadly lava. After a few moments, you begin to see an image floating over the lava. It begins to solidify and move closer. The shape resolves into a gigantic fanged demon, floating over the lava. He is restrained by gigantic golden chains. When he arrives, he begins to speak.
I am Astar, once lieutenant of Greyhoth, now imprisoned here by him for trying to slay him. I wish revenge, and wish you to be my tools. Thus, hear me well. Greyhoth's fortress is far, far to the northwest. There are 6 statues in front. To get inside, stand just north of the eastmost statue. Walk north 6 steps, northwest 3, southwest 2, west 1, north 4, northeast 3. You will be inside. Having said his piece, he floats away again, leaving you alone, and me with a very sore throat for trying to do a demon voice. So I feel like that would have fit a little bit better after we free Greyhoth from his prison, because Greyhoth's prison and Greyhoth's fortress are 2 different places. But we're passing through, and I don't necessarily want to backtrack back and forth across Exile all the time. Now, I don't think I have what it takes to actually get in here, but when I was very young and played this game for the first time, I got very curious about this field of lava with occasional pockets of safe ground, and who knows what to the south. And so, being a young gamer, I walked through the lava and took lots of damage, like so. Oh, hey, I forgot about that. I knew there was passages in the second game. Or the remake, one of those. These tunnels are boiling hot and filled with lizards. A group of them sees you and approaches. Oh yay. But I'm strong enough that they flee from me. Awesome. More lizards. Monsters fled. At the end of this passage is a gigantic nest, created by the lizards over many years. It is made up mainly of all sorts of trash, but one thing catches your attention. A large helmet on the ground near its base. Cool. I don't even remember what kind of helmet that is. Maybe a ruby helm? But anyway, as you can see, it's very possible to walk around this area taking some, but not huge amounts of damage. And yes, there's passage on the other side.
And over here. Now, when I was young and doing this with a wildly underleveled party, I would just walk through the lava and then rest on a safe space or cast Light Heal All, and do that repeatedly. Some pro gamer strats there. Lizard statues, interesting. This huge, flat, deathly black wall has only one feature. A huge onyx door with gold hinges and keyhole, twice as tall as a human. Only a moment's inspection makes it clear. You have no way of getting this enormous door open. So we're going to have to come back here later. But that is something that I found really striking way back in the day. And I'm just going to Orb of Thralny over the rest of the lava here. Actually, no. I'm going to walk this way and then Orb of Thralny. Safely avoided lava! But yes, I always found that really striking when I was a kid and first playing this game, of this huge field of lava, mysterious cave dungeon, and an unopenable door. Like, mystery, what could it be? We'll find out later, of course. There's a couple more steps we have to take. I think we have to get the grey mold and talk to Patrick and go to the castle and put the fox in the boat with the grain and all that good stuff. Crossing into Almeria, we have to pay a bridge toll. But not when I've got the orb! Next stop today is the Inn of Darman. So, just to refresh everyone's memory, this woman here tells us a bit about the scimitar, and apparently they have some interest in us, or we should have some interest in them. So she directs us to a guy named Royce in Blosk, which is conveniently a nearby city. Let's see, there's the forge, there's Leith. Which one is Royce? You're Bruce. Seems not to have noticed us. Ah, here we go. It's always the nondescript guy sitting at the bar, isn't it? So, ask him about the scimitar. He speaks very quietly. Yes, we've been watching you, but waiting for you to approach us. Calder, in the abyss. That's who you should talk to. About the scimitar, that is. That's all I can say. And so we've picked up another plot thread that we will follow up on pretty soon. We have not met Calder in Spire. I think he's in the other town of the Abyss. And one more place to visit today. So we know it is very important for us to find the prison of Greyhoth, let him out of his bottle so that we can find him and kill him again. But the game has not been very good at telling us where the prison actually is. We know that his old fort is to the south, beyond a sea of lava. Hint, hint, it's that mysterious cave we were in earlier. But when I was looking up another Let's Player's playthrough, I found that this particular wizard has a bit of helpful information. Ask Silverio about fight. She tells us that she has fought against demons in the past. Greyhoth lived in a fort beyond a sea of lava to the southeast, defeated and imprisoned him, and put him in a cave near the abyss. Haha. So naturally, he's in the area of Exile that we have not thoroughly explored so far. And yeah, there's totally a plot coupon waiting for us in Greyhoth's old fort once we can get in. So, I hope all of this isn't too jarring for anyone in the future who's binge-watching this or otherwise watching a bunch of episodes in a short time frame. And just for grins and giggles, we will take the Thieves' Way into and out of the Abyss. Actually, while we're here, there is one more thing... Oops, didn't mean to do that. While we're here, there is one more thing that I would like to add in the Spire Fortress. You tell your names to the guard on the other side of the narrow barred window. After a few moments, the portcullis slides open. Cool. Can I unlock this door? Perhaps not. So we have to go the long way around. Because a couple episodes ago, one of the regular commenters here, Yamama Nama, mentioned the extra dialogue that the prisoner Paul here has in the remake. And I did a little bit of poking around. Ask him about worms. So we can ask him about slugs, and he talks about voles like us. Ask him about sense. I was in the running to be mayor of Almeria. I try a few minor maneuvers perfectly normal above, and they get all self-righteous and send me here. The things I could have done for them. The worms. He spits in disgust. Always fun to discover those extra little bits that I never knew were in the original game. But now, we've got some thieving to do. You might think that we really have no reason to go stealing the circlet from the mayor of Spire. But considering who my party members are named after, I think we would enjoy tweaking the nose of any unpleasant authority figure. Now, there's still a bunch of hidden territory to the north of town here. So we just keep... Ah, here we go. And Simon, you cure book. Okay, was there one guard or are there... There's more. There's more, and I think I'm going to have to go chase them down. Ow. Enough with the kill spells. Now, I could throw kill spells at the wizard too, but wizards are pretty magic resistant. Wound does okay. Poison and blades do better. Like I said, blades do better. Bit of a shame I didn't get to show off the full effects of major poison. Random helmet, sure. And of course the door is locked. There we go. Down the long corridor, which ends in secret passage, which ends in Mayor Mina's bedroom. And her secret stash. Probably wise to save before activating this trigger. There is a small steel box firmly bolted to the top of the pedestal. It has a small padlock, and everything is covered with runes. That doesn't sound ominous at all. You use the tiny key and unlock the box. Inside, sitting on a small pillow, is a delicate, finely wrought silver circlet. You say the word Ankh, Nothing happens. You pick up the circlet, expecting to be baked at any moment. Bad things fail to happen. You now have the silver circlet. Neat. And it's not a regular inventory item, it is a special item. So, perhaps that will become relevant again at a later point. Ah, but perhaps you wonder, what would have happened if we didn't say Ankh? The moment you touch the circlet, searing flames shoot from the walls and blanket the room. Your flesh fries and peels from your bones. Youch! We would be very dead. So let's go back to the Alpha timeline. Now I think it's in our best interest to sneak out of town and not come back. Fortunately, there's more abyss to explore to the north. The sign reads, Bargha, 30 miles north. Beware of giants and bandits. Well, there's your bandits. Who are finally learning to run away from a party with big swords and big spells. You find a small cluster of farms, surrounded by dense walls, pits, and fields of caltrops. The people working the rows of mushrooms look scared, and ready to defend themselves at a moment's notice. However, again, they are smart enough to not actually attack us, which is a nice change of pace for the Abyss. There is a design painted on the cave wall, a red scimitar. Below the design is carved one word, beware. And here, in this well-defendable position, is the town of Bargha. There is a large carved granite slab by the gate. Bargha. It is heavily cracked. And entry is blocked to casual visitors. You see a soldier wearing mismatched armor and bearing a low-quality weapon. Sorry, Vol, can't talk. Waiting for giants to attack. I don't have time to talk. An ancient, heavily wrinkled man peers at you through a barred window. His armor hangs off him loosely. I'm Bella. He emits a rattling cough. Ah! He spits on the floor. I'm too old to defend the wall, so I watch the gate. If you want to enter the city or the outer world, let me know. Well, I do want to enter. Yeah, I hear ya. He turns a heavy wheel and the portcullis at the entrance opens. So yes, the town of Bargha is very heavily defended, and they need to be, because they are right next to giant territory. Which, of course, sounds tons of fun now, doesn't it? That is not a talking statue. That is a kid. You see a shy, eerily pale little girl. She says, Molly, in a voice you can barely hear. I'm scared. She shies away from you. Giants throw things. Wowed. Scares me. It is clear you scare her too. Poor little kid. Barracks. So yes, Bargha is generally much nicer and more well-organized than Spire. Let me in. Okay, so supply room. And presumably commander's office. With nothing interesting in it. Two words are painted in black by this door. Dead room. Oh, that sounds really unpleasant. This is a ramp sloping downward to the east. Below, you can see a crenellated wall, facing down 30 feet onto the rubble and body-strewn ground below. Yeah, this wall is in much worse shape than the other one. Yikes. A young priest with ratty robes and dark skin runs around, looking for wounded. He bows quickly. I am called Caballero. I patrol the walls and heal those who need it. There's more havoc here than I could ever help with, but I have to keep trying. It is, after all, the fate I chose. I shouted and shouted for the poor and downtrodden on the surface. Then, the Empire tired of hearing the truth and threw me down here. I did the same thing around the Vols, but they got sick of me too, so they sent me to the Abyss. And I came here. It's miserable and dangerous, but I can fight for good here, and nobody tries to shut me up. The giants come here and lob boulders over the wall for fun. Then, when they get serious, they charge. Were it not for me and Prin, many more would have died. As it is, the bloodshed is still horrible. So, that seems to be all I can get from this guy. There's a large lever in the wall here. Through a slit in the wall, you can see the portcullis below. It is probably a very bad idea to pull the lever. So let's save the game and try it. A guard runs up and stops you. What are you trying to do, you idiot? Let the giants in and kill us all? More guards run up and you get shouted at a lot. There's the portcullis. And I'm quite sure this special is the same. Yes. And this is the same message about the ramp. So, yeah, double wall on this side of the town. Small sign by the door. Etheridge the Learned. Schooling of all kinds. Yes, sirree, this is the training area of the Abyss. A woman in dark, flowing robes and a hood flows about the room. You can occasionally make out the outline of a blade through her clothes. I am called Etheridge. Welcome to my school. I train all who can use it. The people of the Abyss need all the skills they can get. Yes, they didn't have the advantages of the Vols. Every advance, every building, every crop was paid for with blood. We have few magicians, few alchemists. We, for the most part, get rejects and scum. We will succeed, but it's hard. I'm not gonna do training now, but probably off screen soon. A splintered wood sign hangs askew by the door. You can barely make out the words, City Hall. This room is filled with charts, maps, schedules, and 1,000 fluttering scraps of parchment covered with notes and plans. This must be the war room of Bargha. Soldiers and planners scurry back and forth, arguing and scheming. Arguing and scheming? You can't fight in here, this is the war room. A man with puffy brown hair and a harried expression wanders around mumbling. He wears nice clothes and some sort of badge of office. I'm Mayor. Mayor. Welcome to Bargha. I know you're Vols, but we need all the help we can get. Well, I mainly organize and provide tactics for the soldiers here. Bargha is the last bastion against the giants. Yes, stupid, vile creatures. They attacked us because it was something to do, and now they refuse to stop. We keep looking to you people for help, and you ignore us. We've sent messengers to King Micah again and again, telling him of the horrors. He hasn't sent a person to help. Not one sword, not one mage. What I wouldn't give for a group of dedicated adventurers. Well, up until recently at least, the army of Exile's been preoccupied with the Sliths, and now they're probably super paranoid about demons. But hey, we're adventurers. He grins, not entirely pleasantly. I'm afraid I don't have any reward to offer you. But I can tell you the giant fort is to the east, and they own great wealth. Oh, and there is a secret passage out in the northeast corner of town. You can use that to get out and get to the giants more quickly. Okay. And I think that's all the useful information you have. Some manner of secret corner here. How can I get in? That's how. There's a stone stairway down here. I think I will leave that for a little bit. A sign has been put up by the door. Bazaar of Bargha. Wonders aplenty. This room has bookshelves, I like that. A woman sits behind the counter writing a scroll. The room is filled with other scrolls, on the same sort of parchment as the one she's writing on. Cynthia. I am a sage. She smiles wryly. I am here, instead of the nice caves to the south, because this is the place in which I feel safe. Interesting. Yes, I know. Warring giants, bandits, fierce and crude people. But there is also the freedom to study what I want and say what I want, and until now I'd never found a single place where I could claim that. Okay. Yes, I identify items. Many strange things are found on the bodies of the giants, and I figure out which ones can aid us. Most of these scrolls describe the bizarre things I've seen. She thinks. I'm also trying to find out about the dragon. Dragon? I like dragons. She turns deadly serious. Yes, I fear it may be a dire threat to us. The giant fort is to the east, and the dragon, so I believe, lives east of that. They worship it, you see, and I fear it may one day hunger for human flesh and come here. When that happens, I doubt we can survive. Perhaps not such a friendly dragon after all. Also, given that she is a sage, she can identify my items, and I will totally be taking advantage of that once I'm done recording. A small elfin woman with long scarlet hair sits at the desk preparing a poultice. I am Prin. I am a healer. Yes, I lived in Almeria once, but I heard about the war here, and knew that this is where my skills are needed. You can't imagine the threats these people live with. You can buy help too if you need it. Which I do not. Yeah, I don't think she has anything else to say. Hi. A tall, thin man is busily stringing a longbow. Ah, hello. You can call me Johnson. I make bows and arrows as fast as I can. It takes a lot of shots to fell a giant. Yes, many, many tiny punctures. Each is as a bee sting, but enough of them make it topple. If you're planning to do some shooting, please be sure to purchase some of my arrows. I guarantee they'll do the trick. Well, let's see what you got. Cavewood bow, kind of crap. Bronze arrows and throwing knives, not so crap. Good mid-tier ranged weapons. Does Zoe have much room for more arrows? Sure. Not that the arrows have been doing me much good so far, but still, it's a fun mechanic to play with sometimes. You find a tired man sitting behind a counter. All around him are dried out hunks of meat, coarse bread, and uninspiring cheese. I am Marlowe. Welcome to my shop. He sighs. You may purchase food from my meager wares. I once had much better. The Abyss produced some fine victuals. Then, alas, our enemies came. He looks at you with mild hostility. Yes, you Vols probably have never heard of the giants, but they're here, killing us, and you don't lift a finger to help. You cast us out and watch us die. He says all this in a strangely flat voice. The Abyss used to be a good place. Now all that is gone. Sad times. So the food is still expensive here, but less ridiculous than in Spire. It's nice to be treated with not outright hatred. A huge, muscular man moves nimbly among the kegs and boiling pots clustered behind the bar. Great purpose and determination shows in his eyes. Greetings, outsiders. I am Calder. Hey, Calder, we're told to ask you about something. I cook and brew for this whole god-forsaken outpost. The few travelers we get, and the many fighters we support, they come here for my fresh stew. For you, 2 gold a bowl. And we have an empty room with clean bed free, 5 gold. Oh, nice, they'll actually allow us to stay in the inn here. I will take some delicious stew. He takes your cash and gives huge brimming bowls of stew. It's thin stuff with stringy meat, but edible. Calder says, the giants haven't taken everything from us. Give thanks. So people have been talking a lot about scimitars around these parts. You barely get the word out of your mouth before he swings close to you. Quiet, he hisses. There are those all around who will kill you if they hear you say that word. We've been watching you. You have potential to do us all much good. There is a stairway hidden behind this inn. Go down it. The password is Phaedrus. Well. Found your hidden passage. And this stone stairway we will climb down right now. And it's dark. That's just the stone stairway up. And a room filled with barrels and crates, as you might expect underneath an inn. A pale man sits at this table, calmly picking at a bowl of cold stew. He looks at you disinterestedly. Cleese. Just sitting around. Ah yes, I've been told of you. You are being given a chance to join the Scimitar, secret defender of the people of Exile against the monsters who put us here. All you have to do to join our band of rebels is complete a simple little mission. We have found out that, in the southwest corner of the Cave of Spirits, to the south of here, the surface worlders have a secret base from which they watch us and report back through a crystal sphere. A large orb which enables them to communicate with those above. Your job is to attack their fort and destroy the orb. This will severely damage their communications with the surface world. When you have done so, come back and use the password again. Oh, and watch out for the gremlins. Oh man, more gremlins. The cave you're looking for will have lots of gremlins in it. Be careful about them. They'll strip you of food in an instant. Well. Seems today is being a good day for plot advancement. And I'm not sure if this is an area I should be allowed into yet, but we shall see. This large, low-ceilinged room is a huge storeroom filled with crates and barrels of supplies. Bargha is evidently equipped for a long siege. Indeed, indeed. And they've even got their own reservoir of fresh drinking water. Very good for them. Well, I think I know where the cave is that the scimitar wants us to go investigate and disrupt. This is a tiny secret passage sloping down steeply to the east. It is far too small for a giant to fit down. Probably a fortunate thing. Probably specifically put here so that the occasional human can go in and out. But yes, I do know where the cave is that the scimitar wants us to infiltrate and disrupt. But right now I'm a little more curious about the giants. I did just pick up a weapon that's really good against them after all. A message is carved on this huge stone slab. Humans keep away. We will eat you all up. This mean you, the giants. I believe that is the giant castle up there. So yeah, giants in this game follow the standard fantasy monster reputation of being kind of dumb and mostly throwing huge rocks. This huge yawning chasm stretches far, far to the west. Bits of trash littered nearby reveal its primary use, the giant's dumpster. Far to the west, through the mist, you see a narrow ledge. That might be worth investigating at some point. There is a dead giant here, apparently ambushed by a bunch of giant lizards. Among his stuff, you find a human greatsword, which he must have been using as a dagger. More signs. Which I think I need to read in the opposite order. Cave of Giants. We will eat you if we do not like you. So stay away, the giants. In the grove, you see a giant hunting party looking for giant lizards. At least, you hope they're hunting for giant lizards. What the hey? Charge. Ooh, we get to see the whole complement of cave giants, giant shamans, and a giant chief. Giant shamans and chiefs share the same graphic, which is slightly annoying. Oh, I need to equip Smite still. Durr. Now, something that I believe I've mentioned, but haven't shown off, is the Wand of Koronos, which is mentioned by the sage Leith in Blosk, will have a strengthening effect on anything you aim it at. Let's see what it does to a giant lizard. Doesn't make the lizard much tougher than usual, but it does take 2 hits from Zoe to take it out. Okay, book, time to switch out your weapons. Oh, nice, it doubles damage against giants. Haha! In this tiny grove, you find a small patch of gray-green, acrid-smelling mold. Perhaps it has some alchemical use. Ah, and the non-scripted encounters are still running away from us. Excellent. The passage here is blocked by a huge wall, extending almost a mile east to west, floor to ceiling. It has 2 huge gates in it, closed and bearing giant padlocks. The padlocks are much more powerful than their crude appearance would have you think. You try picking, then magic, but nothing gets them open. I think we're going to need a special key for those. So I could start infiltrating the giant castle now, but I think it's better for me to go and identify and probably sell off some of the items I've been picking up. So, have a good one, everybody. I will see you next time.